they say that internet, on one side, it will reinforce this superstar effect. Okay, we will see always the superstars coming to the first. All the news were about them, and we will see more and more about them. But on the other side, the impact of internet is to have this long tail. Okay, so which effect dominates? As an economist, I'm very curious. That means internet gives chance to many other talented people to reach this ground, and this effect also very clearly observable in publishing markets. Now there are lots of small publishing houses agree to publish a book of an artist, of a writer who is not known, because of the selling channels, let's say Amazon. That's this long tail. It's a very positive consequence of internet. I think we're observing the same thing happening due to Instagram. However, there is this problem. How to make this is important for you as well as for all the artists who want to be seen. There are lots of algorithms. How to dominate these algorithms to make your name come upper and upper? Do you work with these algorithms? Are there any people interested to work with these algorithms to make, for example, Unit London's artists to come more often, more upper levels?
The algorithms themselves, you can't really work. They're closed, obviously, and they're determined by Facebook's commercial interests generally. But you have to, the more you understand them, the more you can, create your content and schedule your content to be favorable. The algorithm has changed massively since we started. Like when we started in 2013, we were posting things, and it would appear to everybody that followed us, and everything was chronological. If you scroll down your Instagram feed, you would see everything in chronological order from every single person that you follow. And as the platform has grown, obviously, it's become a kind of money trap for advertising revenue, and they are promoting specific types of content based on how much has been paid, or how much has been put behind it, or who's posted it. And timing is very important. Engagement is very important. The Instagram algorithm now will only show your content to people who you have engaged with, or people who have recently engaged with you. So I started noticing last year that some of these very big collectors who follow us, and who used to like all of our posts and comment on all of our posts and everything, were really engaged. They started to stop engaging. Like they stopped liking our posts and stopped commenting. And I decided to just experiment. And I went onto their page and I started commenting on their posts and liking their posts and engaging with them a little bit. And then sure enough, the week after, they were liking our posts again. And the Instagram algorithm really favors, it rewards engagement. So the more that you're active in your community, the more that you're speaking to other people, the more that you're liking, commenting, sharing, DMing, whatever it is, the more you do that, the more Instagram will present your content to those people. So actually there's not really a great kind of one universal method to break it, aside from just having somebody or you just go in there and comment and like and do the manual work. That's what really gets you good engagement. The algorithms are, you just have to know what they are so that you can use them to your advantage, more so than actually being able to play with the algorithms themselves.
I was commenting too much, and they were stopping me. I remember last year or so. I was commenting because I wanted to. I tried to solve their algorithm, and then I was blocked, stopped for a whole day to add comments. I was only permitted to like the pages. Uh, so, but you manage very well. You manage very well your Instagram content. Uh, is there any full-time media artist or media worker working in the gallery on this, or it's you?
We have a few departments now in the gallery. For 5 years, it was two of us, and then over the last couple of years, the gallery has really grown, and we have 25 staff now full time in the gallery. And that's across. We have an accounting department, we have a programming and exhibitions department, we have a sales team, we have an events team, and then we have, I'm sure I'm forgetting one, an operations department, and then we have marketing and content. And the marketing and content team is actually quite small, but there's two people in the department, but they are focused on all of our digital content production, scheduling, and then they also work very closely with the exhibitions team to produce the content for the exhibition. So whether it's like arranging photo shoots for the artists at their studios, getting video interviews, getting scripted interviews with the artists, writing texts, that kind of stuff. But yes, we still do the Instagram posting, and I think that's a really important point. Big galleries are very quick to hire social media teams, but then the social media teams don't have access to the really interesting information. You know, to use the phrase, the horse's mouth, it's really important that your audience is getting immediate and compelling insight from the gallery. And ultimately, like, I know what's going on in the gallery day to day. I might come off the phone with an artist, here's something really exciting, and then I'll go and post straight away. That like immediacy and that direct contact gives our audience something that's actually meaningful and exciting and insightful and relevant. And too many pages, I think, they wonder why their social media audience isn't that engaged. But then when they post, they're just regurgitating a press release and posting an image which you could see on the website already. You know, Instagram is such a great tool, and it's not somewhere that you drive people to and leave them on. It's somewhere where you first get people's attention and then you drive them somewhere else. Like, if you think about the digital ecosystem, you want to use Instagram to capture someone's attention. Once you have it, then you want to send them to your website where they can get the long format content, they can watch a video, they can read the text, they can discover more works. Instagram isn't like the be all and end all. You shouldn't view it as like this perfect, pristine platform where your content has to look incredible all the time. And you don't want to give everybody all the information in an Instagram post. You want to give them a teaser, like, you know, start them on their journey, pique their curiosity, you know, tell them what you're doing, but then also kind of kick them on, but, you know, start them on their journey to kind of discover more about your exhibitions or your artists or your gallery or whatever it is you're doing. But yeah, it comes from the horse's mouth. Our Instagram is, I do the posting, my co-founder does the posting, and then the stories are done by our content team. And then all the stuff you see on the website is generally done by the content team and then signed off by us.
Although there are many robots liking or disliking, I still love Instagram. I was a bit deceived when I discovered that some of my followers were just robots. But yeah, this is also a part of the Instagram algorithms.
They do like periodically trim the get rid of bots, I think.
Yeah, I try to myself clean as well, but yeah, this is a bit deceiving. Now coming back to more market questions, do you collaborate with your neighbor galleries? Is there any some sort of, you know, like friendship among galleries? And do you also collaborate with international galleries? You know, page sharing or artist sharing or co exhibitions at the fairs, things like that?
Yeah, it's a good question, because when we started, we we saw ourselves as very independent, and obviously we were kind of, when we started out, you know, we were very much like, fuck the art world, excuse my French. But it was very much like, we didn't want to be a part of it. We wanted to be different. We wanted to be against the grain. And obviously we still do to a certain extent, but now we've grown to a point where you realize that you can't do everything on your own. And there is an infrastructure that exists. And there are other galleries who also have their artists' best interests at heart, and who have access to good collectors, and who have relationships that might benefit your artist. So we're constantly looking for other galleries to partner with, or to share artists with, or to just work with. You know, whether that's another gallery director curating a show with us, or whether it's doing private sales with other galleries, sharing collectors, or, I mean, the ideal for us is like finding international galleries who have a strong reputation, who can help add value to our artists' career. Like, there are very few artists and very few galleries that can sustain themselves and have a successful, comprehensive, balanced career by just working with one gallery. You know, you can't just have, especially if the gallery only has one location, you know, you can't just keep every year having a solo exhibition at the same gallery with the same four walls. It gets boring. And you know, that, you know, unless you're a Gagosian or a Hauser or a Zwirner, you don't have enough of a big enough audience and enough locations to be able to keep producing interesting exhibitions and projects for your artists. So for us, it's something that we've had to learn. You know, when we started, we didn't want to work with any other galleries. We didn't want to do any fairs. We wanted to do things our own way. And I think as we've matured, we have seen the value in collaborating with other galleries and being collegiate, and ultimately, you know, and I'm talking about, you know, specific, I'm not talking about any gallery. I'm talking about galleries that share our interests and want to develop their artists and have a good reputation or track record of doing so, and who can add things to us that we don't currently have, and they want things from us that they don't currently have. So there has to be like a shared value system, whether that's an artist or an audience or a collector or a relationship, or, you know, it might be our social media presence that can add huge value to another gallery by us posting about their show or their artist. Whatever it is, there's loads of different ways of dicing it up. But
what do you think? What do you think about? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that they're important. It's really important if you're starting a gallery or you run a gallery to be able to have those colleagues in other galleries that you can work with.
How about artist initiatives in London? Are there many? And what is your relationship with them?
With artist initiatives?
Yeah.
Do you mean like residents?
You know, artists, because there are many of them in Turkey, since they cannot, you know, afford to work with the gallery, and they cannot afford to have their own gallery. So they join their forces and they organize pop-up shows under a name. So these are artists sharing a common muse.
Yeah. There's some in London for sure, and they're good ways for artists to be able to kind of build momentum. You know, if you're kind of better together, really, if you're young artists and you have other artists that you're working with who you share ideas with or share studio space with, or, you know, if you're learning from each other, then there are lots of collectives in London. There's a group called Boys Don't Cry here in London, who are really strong and really exciting, and it's run by one of our former members of staff here, and it's a curators group that represents artists, young British artists who are dealing with issues around mental health, and they're a really, really strong group. It's called Boys Don't Cry, and it's like a response to high incidences of male suicides in across Europe, across the world, and all of their artists deal with like this kind of like changing notion of masculinity and identity in youth culture. And they're really strong and interesting, and they're good to engage with, and they're good to support as well. You know, We were going to be doing an exhibition of theirs here at the gallery next week, but we're now in lockdown, so it's not happening anymore. But there's certainly artist collectives are really good ways for artists to be able to like make some noise and, you know, leverage each other's audiences and networks to be able to kind of like produce exhibitions. Obviously, it's like it's certainly not like a competitor to a gallery. It's much more a way for them to be identified and seen by galleries.
It's like more like I see them more like underground market. They are really, they are most avant-garde artists belonging to these groups.
Yeah.
Now, David Zwirner created this platform, and I really liked the idea. So my question for collaboration also for on this ground. I mean, you as a leader gallery trying to help the new galleries, you know, young galleries who don't have any place to start. You know, this kind of you know, leadership, not the cooperation in terms of you know, galleries at the level of Unit London, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, there's definitely like a collegiate element to, I mean, in London, for example, there's a WhatsApp group, and there's now like 120 people in there, but it's all London galleries. And like just last week, we all got together and somebody had the idea of creating a West End gallery night last night where all the galleries stayed open until 9 o'clock because it was the last day before lockdown. And that's really nice. It feels like, you know, it's a group of 120 London galleries who are all chatting on WhatsApp and all helping each other and sharing information. And when something happens, like during lockdown, and there's lots of chat in the group about the pricing for the Freeze online booths, and people were comparing notes and then coming together to like lobby against the art fair to get better prices. And there is a lot of it happening more and more, you know, and like that kind of community aspect. And like you say, like the leadership, it does take leadership from big galleries to share resource a little bit. I mean, there's obviously like creating an online platform where you're driving your artists, you know, you're sharing your platform technically with other galleries. You also are benefiting from getting those galleries collectors coming onto your platform and then you getting their information. So it's kind of like there's a value exchange there. It's not totally altruistic. It's, you know, it has value for the big gallery as well, because they're increasing their client base and their visibility amongst those smaller galleries collectors.
Of course. But,
I mean, it depends which way you look at it. You know, it depends which way you look at it. You can look at it as something that's really great for the younger galleries, but also it's another way of feeding the monopoly of the big galleries at the same time.
Now, you know, your story is very exciting, and you know, you started from a very different line with pop-up shows. Do you have to have, you know, do you have two different levels now for very young artists, like you know, Unit London like lab, and Unit London for more established artists? Do you separate activities and exhibitions like that?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We actually also have another business called Unit Drops, which is online only, and it produces limited edition prints and collectibles, like this, for example. This is
maybe our students I can buy.
I don't know if you see that. Yeah, so I mean, it's like yeah, definitely it's for first-time buyers and younger collectors who are just starting out. You know, you can buy a work on there for £100, or, you know, sometimes even less. And they're limited editions, and they generally, whenever we release an edition from an artist, it will sell out in like 2 minutes. You know, everything just sells really quickly.
Do you have a calendar for that? Publishing
I do. I don't think the calendar is online anywhere, but you can go onto the website. It's called unitdrops.com.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of stuff on there, you know, and there's really great limited editions. Like, I think there's also old stock that's on there from like sold out editions as well that you can get your hands on. And, you you know, some of the editions that we've sold for like £300, they're then trading on the secondary market the next day for like $1,000. So there's lots of it's that kind of culture, but we created that because we started selling our art for like that sort of price point, you know, like up to £1,000 maximum, and now we're selling works like, you know, up into the millions. And so we don't want to kind of disenfranchise the people that we started off with. And we kind of created that for a lot of our audience who can't afford to buy into like the higher price points. We still want to make sure that they are able to collect the artists that they love, and start their journey of collecting. Be able to live with the artist's work is really important. And then in terms of our programming, we have an online exhibition program called Platform, which just opened recently. And that is kind of focusing on not just more emerging artists, but also some more established artists as well, but like more focused, smaller solo exhibitions, generally with more emerging artists, as a way of introducing them into our program. And that program also has a really nice kind of charitable element to them as well. So we're asking artists to focus on a particular topic or theme that they are passionate about. And it could be like a social theme, it could be an economic theme, it could be a political theme. And then they create work about that topic, and then they nominate a charity which a portion of the sales revenue is donated to, which deals with that specific topic.